Have you ever felt invisible in your own life? When you've given everything, your time, your heart, your energy, only to realize you were just a background character in someone else's story. That was me. My name is Helen. I gave everything. For my family, I believed with all my heart that love was enough, that it would come back to me in time. But one Thanksgiving, my world changed with a single question. A question from my son that shattered everything I thought I knew. This isn't just a story about betrayal. It's a story about finding strength in silence, reclaiming what was stolen, and finally, choosing peace. Thanksgiving used to be my favorite holiday. I'd wake early, start the pies, prep the turkey, and lay out that old tablecloth my mother once used. Every detail prepared with love. Even though I now lived in a tiny, run-down apartment on the edge of town, I still did everything the same. My curtains were faded, the heater barely worked. But I wanted everything to be perfect, because Evan, my only son, was coming home. Evan had become a tech consultant, successful, busy, important. I kept every newspaper clipping, watched his interviews, beamed with pride. But lately, his calls had grown shorter. His visits, rarer. I told myself it was just work. That Thanksgiving, he arrived with a bottle of wine and a polished smile. Behind him was Lillian, his wife, poised, stylish, every inch the corporate woman. Dinner passed in polite chatter. Business expansions, renovations, European trips. I listened, nodded, passed the gravy. Then Evan asked, "So Mom, how do you like the Lakehouse I gave you?" I blinked. "The what, honey?" "The Lakehouse, the one I gave you for your birthday 2 years ago." My hands shook. I felt cold all over. "Evan, I never received a house." His face changed. He looked at Lillian, who suddenly went silent. Then she stood up, muttered about a phone call, and disappeared into the kitchen. I didn't know what was happening, but I knew something was terribly wrong. Underscore the next day. "Evan called Mom," he said slowly. "I've been sending you $1,500 every month. And I bought that lake, house transferred it to your name." Lillian said she coordinated everything, $36,000. And a house I'd never even heard of. Meanwhile, I was still mopping floors at night, rationing my blood pressure pills, and skipping meals to pay the light bill. By the weekend, the truth came crashing down. Lillian had forged papers, redirected mail, opened secret accounts in my name. Every dollar Evan sent, she intercepted. She didn't just take money. She took my name, my security, my peace. A week later, Evan and I drove to Lake Auburn. I saw the house for the first time, spacious, serene, by the water. Everything I would have chosen. An older man, Lillian's father, answered the door. He looked at me like I was a ghost. "We thought the house was a gift from Evan," he said. Then Lillian appeared. Her makeup was gone, eyes red, shoulders slumped. "I was trying to help my parents with their mortgage," she whispered. "It was just going to be one payment." Then another. "I meant to put it back." I stared at her. This woman who had hugged me during holidays while draining everything Evan tried to give me. "You didn't just steal from me," I said. "You erased me." Tears fell from her eyes. But I had no more left. The house was returned to me. But nothing could return those lost years. The first night I slept at the Lakehouse, I didn't sleep at all. I sat by the window watching the moon reflect on the lake. The walls still whispered betrayal, but the silence started to heal me. I painted every room, bought my own furniture, planted rosemary outside the kitchen window. Every change was my voice saying, "I'm still here." Evan began visiting again, not just out of guilt, but out of love. We shared cinnamon rolls, stories, and silence. Neighbors stopped by with casseroles. People smiled at me in town. And one morning I called my boss and said, "I'm not coming back. I'm retiring." I never thought I'd say that word. But I was finally living. A year later, I stood on the porch, tea in hand. The sun rose over. The lake, this house, this view was truly mine, not a stolen gift, not a pity offering, a life I reclaimed. Evan came by that morning with. Jennifer, kind, sincere, honest. A different kind of woman. We laughed, cooked, shared memories. That night I stood by the water and whispered, I forgive myself. I forgive Evan, but not you, Lillian. Not yet, maybe not ever. But your lies no longer live in me. And I felt free. So many of us disappear behind our love for others. But it's never too late to reclaim our voice. If someone had stolen years of your life, what would you do? Would you fight? Would you forgive? Would you finally live? Tell me in the comments. I read every story, and if you stayed till now, thank you. At the end of this video, I've left 2 more stories that I think you'll love. Until next time, remember, you are not invisible. Not anymore.